Have you ever felt like your inner life is being slowly erased? Like the very tools designed to connect you are actually making you less present, less yourself? What if the curated highlight reels of others aren't just inspiring, but actively chipping away at your own sense of worth? Not through envy, but a quiet, gnawing comparison. And what if all this information is creating a paralysis, leaving you overwhelmed and disconnected from your real life? We're drowning in connection, aren't we? An ocean of data at our fingertips. Yet, so many of us feel more adrift, more anxious than ever. We're bombarded, constantly nudged, prompted, presented with endless choices, all begging for our attention. This relentless strain on our minds, this eternal loop of external validation, it's changing us. What if I told you the biggest threat to your well-being isn't out there, but in here? That your own mind has been subtly, systematically rewired by the digital world? What if the endless scroll, the perfect facades, has left us with a deficit in self-acceptance, in real connection, in truly engaging with the world? This isn't sci-fi, it's our reality, and understanding it is the first step to reclaiming yourself. We're going to talk about how the relentless pursuit of external validation online is eroding your authentic self. It's a concept that echoes the Danish philosopher Søren Kierkegaard. He warned about the crowd, how it strips away individuality, how it makes us surrender personal responsibility. He argued that true selfhood isn't about blending in, it's about a courageous, often lonely confrontation with your own existence. And today, that crowd is amplified. Social media algorithms are designed to keep us hooked, pushing conformity and external validation to the extreme. We're not just subject to our friends' opinions anymore, but to a global, often anonymous audience. The constant stream of curated lives, the chase for likes and followers, ties our worth to metrics. Our worth becomes external. Kierkegaard's warnings about inauthenticity feel more urgent than ever in this digital echo chamber. At its heart, this is about a shift from intrinsic motivation to extrinsic motivation. Intrinsic, that's the joy you find from within, learning, mastering, just doing. Extrinsic, that's driven by outside rewards, praise, recognition, avoiding criticism, or collecting digital accolades. The digital world is overwhelmingly extrinsic. Every notification, every like, every comment is a tiny dopamine hit, a fleeting affirmation that reinforces the behavior of seeking external approval. So our actions become dictated by what we think will get us positive feedback, not by what we genuinely resonate with our inner values. The irony? Connection is the stated goal, but the architecture often fosters deep isolation by replacing self-discovery with a performance of self. We become actors on a digital stage, chasing applause and risking losing touch with the quiet, unperformed reality of who we truly are. Imagine this, the digital mirror maze. You're in a hall of mirrors, each reflecting a slightly distorted you. Some show you more successful, more attractive, more popular. Others, less so. These aren't just reflections, though. They're curated, filtered, enhanced by others and by the algorithms. You start spending your time not with your real self, but trying to find the mirror that shows you the most desirable version of you. Or worse, trying to become the reflection you believe others want to see. You get so engrossed in navigating this maze, chasing the perfect reflection, you forget the unmirrored self who walked in. Each step is a compromise, a subtle alteration of your true form, in pursuit of an ever-shifting and ultimately unattainable ideal presented by the illusion of the digital mirror. You're not seeing yourself, you're seeing a meticulously crafted projection, and the more you chase it, the farther you are from your own reality. The psychology here is powerful. It's the operant conditioning of our reward pathways, amplified by social comparison theory. Our brains are wired for pleasure, and the digital world has masterfully hijacked that. Every positive interaction, a like, a comment, triggers dopamine, that fleeting sense of satisfaction.
And social comparison theory says we evaluate ourselves by comparing to others. But online, we see carefully curated highlight reels. Their successes, their joys, their perfect moments, their struggles, hidden. This constant, unconscious comparison can lead to feelings of inadequacy, envy, and a diminished sense of self-worth. And these platforms are built to be addictive. That unpredictable reward schedule, it keeps us hooked, checking for that next hit of validation. Take Anya, a talented graphic designer. She loved the creative process itself, but after joining a visual social media platform, her motivation shifted. Hours spent meticulously editing images, not for art, but for engagement, agonizing over captions for likes. Her self-worth became directly tied to hearts and comments. If a piece didn't perform, she saw it as personal failure. She started creating work that was popular, not what truly excited her. One evening, staring at a successful post, a coffee cup image that got thousands of likes, she felt a hollow ache. Is this it? She wondered. Is my creativity just a popularity contest now? The long-term consequence, a disconnect from her artistic voice, cynicism about her passion, a gnawing emptiness no digital affirmation could fill. Does this sound familiar? Do you wonder if the effort you put into your online image truly reflects your inner state, or if it's draining your authentic energy? Then there's Mark, a budding entrepreneur. He launched his startup with a clear vision. But as his business grew, so did his online presence. He saw social media as a growth driver, meticulously crafting a public persona of effortless success. Posts about late nights framed as dedication, not the stress and burnout he felt. Curated photos of meetings, omitting the underlying tensions. He obsessed over maintaining an image of unwavering confidence. When faced with setbacks, his instinct wasn't to address them, but to project a more polished facade. He spent hours crafting optimistic updates, even when he felt overwhelmed. The psychological toll? He felt like an imposter, terrified of his image crumbling. The long-term consequence? A huge strain on his mental health, growing distance from his team who sensed his inauthenticity, and a business built on suppressed anxieties. Does this echo the pressures you feel to maintain an image that doesn't align with your internal reality? And Sarah, a university student. Naturally introverted, she enjoyed deep conversations. But at university, she felt immense pressure to be more visible. She joined clubs, not out of genuine interest, but to expand her online network, create the impression of a vibrant social life. Hours spent curating her feed, carefully selecting photos portraying her as popular. Even her experiences were often solitary. She'd feel anxiety seeing peers post about events she wasn't invited to, a constant low-grade FOMO. This external focus meant neglecting her need for quiet reflection and deeper connection. She was constantly performing a version of herself that felt exhausting and inauthentic. The long-term consequence, a superficial network, a constant feeling of overwhelm, and a growing sense of isolation despite being connected to hundreds. Have you ever felt the pull to present a version of yourself that feels more like a performance than an authentic expression? The cumulative cost of this perpetual quest for external validation is staggering. It's not just wasted time or superficial connections. It's a profound depletion of our psychic energy, a hijacking of our intrinsic motivations, and a gradual erosion of our capacity for self-acceptance and genuine presence. We pay with our peace of mind, our authentic creativity, our ability to form deep relationships, and, ultimately, our very sense of self. This isn't a minor inconvenience. It's a silent epidemic of disengagement, a slow surrender of our inner autonomy for fleeting external affirmations. The true cost is the dimming of our own inner light, the substitution of genuine experience with a curated imitation.
The path to liberation from this pervasive pattern isn't easy. It requires a conscious, deliberate turning inward, a courageous reorientation from the external gaze to the internal landscape. True freedom here isn't the absence of external feedback, but the ability to receive it without letting it define your worth. It's the strength to act from your own convictions, to pursue your passions for their own sake, and to find contentment not in the applause of the crowd, but in the quiet resonance of your own authentic being. It's about reclaiming your inner sovereignty, your inherent right to define your own value. So, how do we start? First, cultivate intentional disconnection. What? Schedule specific, non-negotiable times to disconnect from devices and social media. Why? This creates a vital vacuum, allowing your nervous system to recalibrate and your mind to quiet down. It breaks the cycle of constant stimulation, making space for introspection and genuine presence. How? Designate times and places for this. First hour of the day, hour before bed, a full weekend afternoon. Inform close contacts if you need to, but the primary commitment is to you. During this time, engage in activities that ground you. Read a physical book, walk in nature, pursue a hobby, or simply sit in quiet contemplation. Your challenge? You'll feel the urge to check your phone, anxiety about missing out, boredom. These are withdrawal symptoms. Recognize them as signals of your brain's learned dependency, not failure. Second, practice authentic self-expression. What? Deliberately engage in activities or share thoughts genuinely aligned with your inner self, regardless of their potential for external validation. Why? This directly counters the conditioning that prioritizes external approval. By acting from your authentic voice, you reinforce your internal locus of control and rebuild self-worth from the inside out. It's reclaiming ownership of your narrative. How? Start small. Share an opinion that might be slightly unpopular. Express a genuine emotion without filtering it. Create something purely for your own enjoyment. Focus on the process, the intrinsic satisfaction, not the reaction. Keep a journal for your unfiltered thoughts with no audience in mind. Your challenge? The fear of judgment will be a hurdle. You'll feel vulnerable. Remind yourself, the goal is genuine self-expression, not universal approval. The people who matter will resonate with your authenticity. Third, embrace imperfection as a gateway. What? Actively reframe your perceived flaws and mistakes, not as failures, but as essential components of your growth and humanity. Why? The digital realm promotes an illusion of perfectionlessness. By embracing your imperfections, you dismantle this illusion and create space for self-compassion and genuine connection. It liberates you from the exhausting pursuit of unattainable perfection. How? When you make a mistake, acknowledge it without self-recrimination. Ask, what can I learn from this? Share your struggles with trusted individuals, not for sympathy, but as an act of shared humanity. Celebrate your messy moments as evidence of a life being lived fully. Your challenge? Societal conditioning and personal insecurities will make this difficult. You may feel shame. Practice self-kindness. Perfection is a myth. True connection arises from shared vulnerability. The more you allow yourself to be imperfect, the more